Hi, and welcome to another video by Jim the Car Guy. Today is going to be a 2004 Toyota Camry we're working on. We're going to be changing the lower control arms themselves because the bushings actually rip through the frame. I'll have them on the floor. I'll show you what they look like. We're going to be changing the stabilizer links at the same time because this particular vehicle has a lot of clank and noises in the front. And the final thing we're going to do is we're going to be changing the struts. We're going to put loaded struts in here. Loaded struts is basically the strut, the spring, and the bearing plate complete as an assembly. And the reason we're going to be doing that is this car has almost 180,000 miles on it, and most of this stuff is all original, if not all. Alright, so let me take you along. I did do the lower control arms yesterday. I also did the stabilizer links yesterday too, but I'm going to talk you through it and show you step by step exactly how to do it. Anybody who's done these before knows that doing these control arms on this one, it is a pain in the ass because there's two bolts that actually secure it down to the frame itself that you can't gain access to because they're behind the motor mount. So we basically have to disconnect the motor mount and lift the engine up so we can gain access to those bolts. So let's get up there. I'm going to show you what to do and how I got it done. I will show you how to do the struts in a future video, but yesterday I just didn't have time to do it. It was just such a busy day. So let me just talk you through it. I'll show you how I did these control arms. And don't forget, subscribe to my channel and like what I'm doing, give me a big thumbs up. Alright, let's get up there and show you what I did. Okay, the first thing you have to do before you do anything underneath the vehicle itself is you have to come up here and you have to disconnect what's called the dog bone right here. Dog bone, torque strut, there's lots of different names. Alright, but we're going to take this torque strut out here because we have to lift the engine up probably about 2 or 3 inches to get the mount out. So take out this bolt here, and then the dog bone pulls right out. You don't have to jack the engine or anything, it just pulls right out. Disconnect this lead right here, it's a ground wire. Unscrew this 10mm and just relocate that off to the side. And then we're done under the hood. Next thing we do is we go underneath the car itself. Alright, these are the control arms, and this is why we had to change these bushings. You can see where they're ripped right through the frame right here, and what was happening is the control arm was banging right into the frame itself. All right, and stabilizer links. The way you take them out is you just put a Allen key right inside here and hold that, and you rotate off this stud. I mean the nut right here. Sometimes they come off, other times they don't come off. You wind up having to cut them off, as you can see. It's stripped out internally right here, so I had no other choice except to get in here with a cutting wheel and cut the stud off so I could remove it from the vehicle. You might run into that; it happens all the time. All right, let's go up front and I'll show you what to do. All right. First thing you're going to take a look at is you're going to see in here. This is the frame right here where the control arm actually mounts to. And you can see that bolt there is fairly accessible. The problem being is that we need to get to that bolt down inside there. Let's see if you can see that. Well, you get the idea. It's in a really bad spot. Alright, so what you got to do is the first thing you're going to do is you're going to come in here and you're going to disconnect this mount right here. You got to disconnect the bolt down here, right here. Then you're also going to come up underneath here. And down here you have these little plugs right here. You pop this plug out and this plug out. And you take out the, I think it's like 17mm screws right there. There's 3 screws on the bottom of the mount. So this one, and this one come out. Take this one here out also. And then we're ready to disconnect the engine and the trans and lift it up. We're going to take out this bolt in the back right here, which comes right out, no problem. We're going to remove that one bolt right here. And then we just jack the engine up. And then when you jack the engine up, you'll have enough clearance so that the engine and the trans is up here. And you'll be able to get this bolt out of the mount. Once you have this out, you pull this out of the way, and your bolt is right there. All right, so not too bad. It's time consuming. I think it gives you about 8 hours to do both sides, book time, but that's pretty much it. All right, so we're going to unbolt it here and Then we're going to come down underneath here, and you can see the ball joint. We had to take out that cotter pin right there, and then separate the ball joint from the knuckle. And this particular control arm came with a new ball joint also, so we put the new ball joint back in there along with the control arm. All right. Next thing we did is we replaced the stabilizer links. This one fairly easy. Remember we had that bolt inside there that wouldn't come out, so we had to cut that off over here. This particular one is made by a different company, and you actually go in the back over here and you hold it with an 18mm wrench, so it doesn't, you don't run into that problem of trying to secure it through here. You actually hold it in the back over here. So that's how you do that. And then down over here, it's a little bit of a pain in the rear end getting in here to get to this one, but the same thing. And that's the one I had to cut off with the cutting wheel. All right, so. And then, of course, we replaced it, and the next thing we did was the same thing on this side over here, and it's the exact same thing. We needed to get to this bolt right down here behind the mount, and as you can see, you can't even really see the bolt, let alone get to it. So again, the same thing on this side here that we did on the other side. We disconnected the back here, took this bolt straight out. We disconnected the ball joint down on the bottom. Right here, we took the ball joint and separated everything on the ball joint, pulled this down. We disconnected here, and those 3 bolts underneath the bottom like I showed you on the other side, and then lifted the engine up. In this particular case, this bolt would not come out of that mount right here. So the problem with that is that we needed to get that mount out of there because we need to gain access to that bolt. So what I chose to do, instead of trying to beat the heck out of it with a hammer, I decided just to unbolt the bracket here that actually holds the mount to the engine. So it's 3 bolts. They were 14mm, so we unbolted it here and down in there. You see the other bolt in there. And then the final one was in the back, right over there. And then we unbolted it, lifted the engine up about maybe 2 or 3 inches, and took the whole assembly out, and then we replaced it with a new one. And that's it. Sorry I couldn't film it. It was just yesterday was such a busy day, just couldn't do it. But today I do have to change these struts on this car, so I'm going to show you how to change these struts step by step also. All right, so thanks again for watching, and I'll get back to you, and I'll put a link on to show you how to do the struts. All right, thanks again, and I'll see you on the next one.